Okay, so thanks for turning up this afternoon. It's really great to be here. So I thought I'd just briefly introduce myself. So my name is Brian Johnson. I've really moved into doing coaching over the last few years, as moving out of 30 years in financial services, spending years running myself, particularly doing networking, not figuring out how to do it as an introvert and feel happy about it. And so the last few years has really been a bit of a transformational journey for me, learning and exploring different ways and actually finding how to enjoy going to events as myself and not feeling I need to try and act like the people who are the centre of attention, and just noticing the difference there. So today, as I master the technology, we're going to focus on thinking about networking events and the fear we have around them. Because I'm not sure where you come from. I mean, if you're happy for you to find anything you want in the chat, I hope you're able to see it, or just if you've got any comments, just do. But for me, it's realizing that fear is all really based around false expectations of being real. This is the way I've heard of talking about it. We think about what's going to happen and what is going on. I mean, networking events, the biggest fear is that you'll talk to nobody, you'll be embarrassed, bored, and you'll quickly run out the door having felt you wasted your time. And that's sometimes how particularly in my 20s, it felt like I was going there, but how do I start those conversations with people? And that fear was holding me back from actually making a start. So, and it's really thinking about what is inducing that fear. Often it's because we don't have enough good experiences to overcome that feeling. And also, where do we feel fear? Where are you feeling inside? Is it something you can control? And what does it feel like? And really noticing the fear is inside you, how you can manipulate that and control it. How, can you find the dial to increase and, more importantly, decrease that feeling of fear? Often, when we start thinking about, I feel fearful, where do I feel it? Or how can I control it? Who is controlling this fear? And we can find a way to dial down our fear. We can then start to move on, if that makes sense. And for me, I'm thinking, another invite to a networking event. It's really starting with, what am I going to gain from being there? And the ultimate question is, why do I want to go? There's often lots of different reasons. It's about going to learn something. There's a great speaker or topic I'm interested in learning in, and knowing from previous experience, I'll actually pick up something I'll remember and I can implement going forward. And actually going to meet people, meet my peers, meet people I might want to work with in the future, might be working with now. Just an opportunity to meet and get to know people beyond the formal work environment. And thinking about actually what difference is that going to make to me going forward can really helpful. So that's really the key starting point for me, getting clear on what am I going to gain from there, thinking of all the positive reasons. And then it's also moving on to what's going to be interesting or fun. How could this event be fun? What is going to happen? You might see fun in actually, or interesting if there's drink and nibbles provided. It can be interesting to think about what's going to be there, a bit of fun, having a nice nice glass of wine there. And also on the other side, what are you doing if you're not there? Are you just going to be sitting at home watching TV? What is going to be more fun? Going out somewhere, going somewhere different. I mean, I found working in London in particular, a lot of the large corporate firms in central London have beautiful offices with great views across London. So one of the things you gain from going to networking events is to go into large plush offices, go up to the top floor and enjoy great views across London. You know, watching the sunset across Tower Bridge is a great place to be, especially you don't have to pay for the privilege to be high up watching such events, and so being clear on what is interesting is always about thinking what is positive, what you're going to gain from it, if that makes sense. And it's just really moving on there. It's continuing to move forward. It's really, so you know who's going to be there, you know what you're going to gain, where it's going to be interesting and fun, and then it's thinking, well, what do I actually need to enjoy this? What skills do I need to engage? And simple questions like, can you talk? I think we can all talk, and so it's finding that environment in that place where you can talk. Can you listen? So are you a good listener? Can you listen to what people are saying, so you can then ask them questions related to what they're saying? And importantly, are you able to smile and laugh? All these things are skills we have already. We can all talk, we all know we can talk to people, we all listen to the people we know, and we all are able to engage them in questions. And we all like having fun and finding things to smile and laugh about. So getting to the point where you realize, actually, I have all the skills I need to enjoy being there. It really then moves us on to going from, I know I want to be there, I know how I'm going to enjoy it, I know what's the difference going to make it to me, and I know how to make this a fun place to be. And we're moving ultimately, so what difference is it going to make? Will I regret not going? Is it somewhere that other people will say, oh, why weren't you there last night? You know, or think what's happened previously. What have you gained from going to previous events? What could you do different which didn't go well? And just getting right. I have all the skills, I know what I'm going to gain. Let's just be clear, it's going to make a difference. I will learn something, I will enjoy myself, and I think my time has been well spent. And then it's really thinking about the practical approach of arriving at the meeting. So what will you do when you arrive? Also, what time you arrive, making sure you don't arrive too early. So what do you do when you arrive? I mean, for me, I've got in the habit of looking around the room for like-minded people. You'll always see the people who are struggling to engage in the conversation with other people, and they are the ideal people to go and approach and start a conversation with. Are people who are feeling nervous, unsure, they don't know anybody, are they in the right place? And you can go, and with that smile you brought with you, with your ability to talk, you can then go and start a conversation with them. And it's always people love to talk about their hobbies, pastime, their interests and their passions. So it's always good to ask them the things they've done, where they went on holiday this year. That's always a great starting point, because there's always something you can then connect with, you can link to, and bring that connection. For example, if I was asked to ask someone and they say, oh, I went to holiday in Cornwall, I would say, I've never been to Cornwall. It's just there's too many crowds there. But I love going to the quiet of the North Norfolk and the beaches. and instantly we have a conversation going along about the different pros and cons of different parts of the country, and we build a link around a common subject very, very quickly, and it puts people at ease because we don't all want to talk about why are we at this networking event and what are we doing. Okay. So that's really the key. Think about, you know, what do you love talking about? What are your passions, interests, and how you can link that through to them. And what you say, it's all about feeling confident, about having a natural conversation with people. That is the key message, I would say. So that's the key thoughts I wanted to get across today. So the key thing, you know, what have you learned? Has there been anything that's useful today in the comments of me? I know we're not all wanting to speak out, but if anyone has anything they want to say, do just let me know. I love the silence of introverts. You know, I'm someone. If you ask me a question, I want to think about it for 3 minutes before I answer. So for me, it's thinking, what can I do different? What hasn't worked for me in the past, and let's do something different. Let's go in, right, I'm going to enjoy this. I think that's really where I'm coming from. It's changing your mindset. I'm going to enjoy this. This is how I'm going to enjoy it. This is what I'm going to get out of it. This is a difference it's going to make. So that's really where I come from. I'm a person of few words, usually, unless you find me a subject I'm really passionate about. I like to listen and hear what other people have got to say, which is why I coach in a quiet manner. So if technology would work. So that's really all I wanted to say this afternoon. Thanks for coming. If you've got any questions, do drop me a message. You can email me at brian@brianpauljohnson.com. And next week, I'm really going to focus on thinking about how to enjoy the Christmas party. If you've got any ideas and suggestions, feedbacks, I'd love to hear them. Thank you very much.